Good evening, members. I invite you to join with me in the opening prayer before we move to the agenda proper. Almighty God, the source of knowledge and understanding, guide the minds of those who are about to take counsel together on matters concerning this county, that in their debate and in their decisions, they may faithfully discharge the duties of their office and promote the health, safety, and well-being of those they seek to serve. Through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
We then move to the agenda proper. So welcome to the 228th meeting of the Council and this year's AGM. As you're aware, it's the first time we have met in person for over a year. So even though I can hardly recognise some people behind the mask, welcome to you in person. We are pleased to see you again as colleagues. We don't have any members of the public. I haven't got to ask you to set your microphones to mute. And if you wish to speak, if you would raise your actual hand rather than an electronic one. And as usual, you would be expected to stand to speak. If I could just say, at the end of a very challenging year for all of us, I'm sure I speak for everybody in putting on record what members of our ward, residents, have done to help neighbours over this very testing time. And I'm sure that I'm speaking for all of us when I say that there have been numerous acts of neighbourly kindness, often unacknowledged, as well as the rather more formal ones. Certainly, we've all had our challenges. As somebody who has always been used to emphasising the IT illiterate, I've found it particularly difficult. I hope I've managed to meet the challenge over the past year and do a competent job. So, having said that, apologies. I have apologies notified from Councillor Burrows. I think we're otherwise a full house. Have any others? Thank you. Chairman's announcements have been circulated, the two events that I attended. So agenda item 3. So I would ask the leader if he's got something he would like to say under that heading.
I have, thank you, Chair. I'd just like to say, as we emerge from this pandemic, we all need to be aware of the needs of our communities. I would ask all of you, but especially the chairs of the committees and the council that we are electing later this meeting, to ensure that we are inclusive and also respectful of others who may hold an alternative view. Neither may be wrong, and we need to think about where each person is viewing from. I'm looking forward to this year as we help our communities return face-to-face and a more normal way of living as the restrictions ease. Rutland has been very fortunate, and we need to work together to ensure that the county that we're all elected to represent continues to be respected in the local community and the wider community. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask the Chief Executive.
Thank you. I just wanted to quickly say on behalf of the officers, welcome back in person. I know it's not ideal circumstances for today, and we will work hard as we've had confirmation of the easing of the second step on May the 17th. We'll work hard to ensure that your next meeting is as normal as we possibly can within the measures, and we will balance that with the current commitments of the building with our staff returning back. So please bear with us, but it's really nice on behalf of the office to see you meeting as a council in a room. It's a big signifier for us in our management of the pandemic.
Thank you very much indeed, Chief Executive. So we move on to item 4, declarations of interest. Are there any, please? Don't see any. And so item 5, election of chairman of the council. I will now hand over to the Chief Executive to take that answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to ask if there's any nominations for the position of chairman.
Excuse me, could I propose myself, please?
Councillor Dale has been nominated. Do I have a seconder?
I'd be very
Councillor
pleased
Scott.
to second Councillor Dale.
Can I ask if there's any other nominations, please? No. So we'll go to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. All those against? And abstentions, please.
Sorry, my figures were wrong there. It was 18 in favour and 80 against.
Abstention.
Sorry.
Thank you. Councillor Dale has been elected as chairman. Councillor Dale, would you like to come and take the chair? Sign the declaration of acceptance of office.
This is going to vote.
Oh, thank you, everybody. We now look for the election of Vice Chairman of the Council. Could I ask for nominations, please?
Chair, can I propose Councillor Beggy, please?
Seconder? Councillor Bill? Have we got anybody else? Any other nominations? No? All those in favour? And against? Abstentions? Good. Notification by the leader of the appointments to the executive.
Thank you very much, Chair. I am bringing Councillor Ian Rizal onto Cabinet and he will be picking up the planning portfolio. I'm also going to move leisure from Councillor Stevenson to Councillor Walters as this aligns better with the portfolio holder's responsibility. And I will be also, Councillor Payne will be extending her portfolio to include governance, performance, procurement and contract management, quality and audit, and also transformation and change. There will be some further changes later in the year, which I will announce at the appropriate time. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 3, the political balance and allocation of seats to political groups.
Thank you, Chair. Councillors, following discussion with the other group leaders and the non-aligned members of the report has been produced that is before you. And I think I'm handing over to the chairman to continue. Thank you.
There are several items on that the report is asking us to vote on. The first of which is to decide the political balance calculation to be adopted by the council. As outlined in the report, this is whether to include all 27 members or to remain with the status quo and include only those members belonging to a political group. Currently 24 of the 27. This would leave the 3 members of the non-aligned without representation on any of the council's committees. I understand that there has been prior agreement between the group leaders on this matter to include all 27 councillors, but I will ask that it is now put to all members to vote. Can I have a proposer, please?
I'd like to propose that, Chair.
I second it.
This is for 27 councillors instead of the 24. Proposed and seconded. Vote. All those in favour, please. Against? There will be no abstentions.
Sorry, Mr. Chair. That particular vote requires, it is a requirement of that particular vote that there is no vote against in order for that to be carried. Any vote against invalidates that particular. Councillor Woodley was aware of that before he cast his vote. Councillor Woodley, do you wish to abstain rather than vote against? So that's an abstention rather than a vote against. Therefore, the motion continues.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Item 3, increase of seats on the conduct committee from 6 to, allocation of seats to political groups. The allocation of seats has been based on the calculation A, 27 members, and is shown in Appendix A of the report. Can I have a proposer, a seconder, and a motion to approve the allocation as shown? Proposal. Second, Mark. All those in favour, please. Item 3, increase of seats on the conduct committee from 6 to 7. CWR has recommended that the number of seats on conduct committee be increased from 6 to 7. May I have a proposal? Seconder, Mark. All those in favour? Thank you.
Okay, I think that's unanimous.
Yeah, it's unanimous. That we've been asked to note the group of nominations for scrutiny committees and note the group nominations for the membership of standing committees. We are just being asked to note the nominations to those seats allocated to the groups as approved by the council. These nominations have been recommended by the group leaders.
There's just one change, actually, Mr. Chairman. There was an error in the employment and appeals. We have Councillor Brown, when actually it should be Councillor Rosemary Powell. Rosemary Powell was the member previously, and Andrew has not been on that committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6, appointment of chairs to the committee. Do we have a proposal for the chair of audit and risk?
Councillor Rosemary Powell.
Seconder. Gordon. Any other nominations? No. Do you want to speak, Councillor Powell?
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for your trust in nominating me to that committee. Thank you.
Is there no other nominations? So all those in favour of Councillor Powell, please.
Carried unanimous.
Yeah, unanimous. Thank you. Do we have a proposer for the chair of the conduct committee? Councillor Woodley. Seconder. Councillor Ainsley. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Hemsley, did you want to say anything?
If I could, just thank you very much. For the county council, I think it's paramount that we're held to a high standard. I fully support the Nolan principles of selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. On this basis, I'm keen to lead the council on the conduct committee. Thank you.
All in favour, please? Unanimous. Item C, do we have any proposal for Chair of Planning and Licensing?
Chair, could I propose Councillor Edward Baines, please?
Seconder. Councillor Hemsley. Any other nominations?
I propose Councillor Oxley.
Seconder. Councillor Brown. Yeah, sure. I just want to know that was. So, Councillor Baines, would you like to say a few words, please?
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Chairman. It is a job that I have done before, as members will be aware. I feel that we are facing a particularly challenging 12 months or so, and I hope that the experience that I've gained in the past might be useful in that respect. So I would ask for your support. Thank you.
Councillor Oxley.
Thank you. Yes, I'm one of the longest serving members of the Development Control and Licensing Committee, having first been voted on 16 years ago in 2005, and I've missed a few planning meetings since. My years of experience have given me a depth of knowledge of the planning process which only comes with time. I remember many of the more contentious decisions I have been involved in, some of which are actually in this room. Decisions taken on balance and based on sound planning principles. I believe it is vitally important to have a chairman with the experience to ensure members of the planning committee are able to make decisions and allowed to be concluded in timely fashion. Recognising what the decision should reflect the aspirations of the applicant whilst not ignoring the concerns of those affected by the application, not raising false hope or dismissing out of hand attempts to explain, but simply to listen and then sum up the debate, hopefully enabling members to make an informed decision, recognising that the final decision will always ultimately be made by all members of the planning committee. Thank you.
Thank you. So, could we have the vote, please, for Councillor Baines? Councillor Oxley.
No.
Abstentions? 26. So Councillor Baines is nominated as chair of the planning. Do we have a proposer for the chairman or chair of employment and appeals?
I'd like to nominate Councillor Gordon Brown.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Boone. Do we have any other nominations? No. Does Councillor Brown want to say a few words?
Yeah, thank you. I'd be very honoured to take the floor on behalf of the council.
Thank you. We've only got the one vote nomination. All in favour? Unanimous, yeah, thank you. Do we have a proposer for the chair of Adults and Health Scrutiny Committee? Councillor Ainsley. Are you putting yourself up, Councillor Ainsley?
No, sorry, I'm nominating Sam Harvey, Councillor Harvey.
Seconder. Are we any other nominations? No? Would Councillor Harvey like to say any few words?
Thank you, Chair. Last year, when appointed as chair, I pledged to encourage all in a proactive scrutiny process. Whilst the pandemic has hampered some of our work, we have been able to offer some valuable contributions. During the year, we've established processes to develop the work plan in line with the forward and the corporate plan, and we've used skills to develop positive working relationship with our fellow members, officers, cabinet, wider partners and stakeholders. These are the building blocks that I shall continue to develop and encourage the committee over the coming year to ensure that we have a proactive, relevant, timely scrutiny that seeks to encourage resident participation. Thank you.
Gotta get it right. Thank you, Your Order. All those in favour, please. Unanimous, yeah. Do we have a proposer for the chair of Children and Young People's Committee, please? Councillor Harvey.
Sorry, can't nominate Councillor Ainsley, please.
Seconder, Councillor Fox. Any other nominations? Councillor Ainsley, would you like to say a few words or?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I'm delighted to be under consideration in the role of Chair of Children and Young People. As you're all aware, I did have a good year last year. I think these are particularly challenging times, and scrutiny must continue to work constructively with everybody, untrammeled by the normal political and committee boundaries. Rutland is number one for adult social services. I intend to work tirelessly for effective scrutiny to help make Rutland number one for children's services. Thank you.
So, thank you. Can we have a vote, please? All in favour? Unanimous, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Do we have a proposer for Chair of Growth, Infrastructure and Resources Scrutiny Committee?
I'd like to nominate Dean Fox.
And a seconder?
Second that, Chair.
Yeah. Any other nominations? No? Did you want to say a few words, Councillor Fox?
Thank you, Chair. I see this year as an opportunity for members to shape and develop policy, and with this in mind, I'm looking forward to looking at our waste, leisure and parking strategies and contracts. I see this year as an opportunity to get ahead of the curve by exploring ways in which we, as members, can add value by looking at projects and contracts which could generate income and savings, which will help the medium and long-term financial plan. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. We have a vote, please. All in favour? Yeah. Do we have a chair of the commission, the scrutiny commission? Councillor Harvey.
Can I nominate Councillor Ainsley, please?
Thank you. And his seconder, Councillor Fox. Any other nominations? No. Would you like to say a few words, Councillor Ainsley, or?
Just thank you for the nomination.
Thank you. Yeah, everybody, all in favour? No. Yeah, against? Abstentions? There's one missing somewhere. Oh, no, I voted. Oh, did it count myself?
So 24 in favour.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Duly elected, Councillor Ainsley. That's all for those, isn't it? Yeah, scheme of delegation and changes to the Constitution. Report number 59/2021, councillor Hensley.
Thank you very much, Chair. Councillors, the amendments set out in the report reflect the work of the Constitutional Review Working Group. This group have a work plan, and should councillors have any areas that they would like to be considered, then do please contact governance and they will ensure that suggestions are brought forward to the attention of the working group. Thank you, Chair.
Unless anybody's got any objections, I think I can make all three recommendations at once. Do we have a proposal and a second? Councillor Hensley and Councillor. Anybody want to speak? No? We have those in favour. Item 5, the programme of meetings 21-22. We'll hear from the monitor officer who will give us an update on where current legislation is regarding to the use of virtual and in-person meetings. And I understand that there have been more developments since the agenda has been published that will affect how we move forward in the programme.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, members. So this legislation hadn't changed since 1974, then it changed last year and then changed twice since with two judgments. As a result of which the timetable that you have in front of you is uncertain at the moment. So we do expect to be bringing back to a future meeting a more robust timetable, but as the Chief Exec explained earlier, we'll take into account our ability to meet the venue and the changing regulations in the matter. So we do expect to have a full and complete meeting schedule brought to you very shortly. As you will be able to see from the paperwork, this is indicative rather than final, owing to those changes that were in place. So I'm happy to take any questions, Chairman.
Anybody got any questions? Can I have a proposal? Councillor Bull and a seconder. I'm going with William, sorry, I saw William first. All in favour? Thank you. Appointments to outside organisations, working groups and forums.
Thank you, Chair. When the report was put together, there are one or two places where an alternate nomination could have been made, and we will deal with those at our next full council meeting. Thank you.
I've got a seconder. Councillor Bill. All in favour?
Councillor Walters indicated.
Abstentions? 4, 1. Any anybody else? No. Oh, sorry, that's carried, yeah.
So there are no matters referred to council.
There's no matters referred to council by members of the council. I can get these meetings done. Thank you very much. The meeting closed at what time was it?
7:29 p.m.
7:29. Thank you very much, everyone.